The U-2 spy plane, how the Dragon Lady reshaped diplomacy and technology. The Lockheed U-2, nicknamed the Dragon Lady, revolutionized aerial reconnaissance and became an indelible force in 20th and 21st century history. Designed during the Cold War's darkest days, its impact extended far beyond intelligence gathering, fundamentally altering geopolitics, technological innovation, and scientific research. Here's how this high-flying marvel changed history. 1. Penetrating the Iron Curtain, ending Cold War myths. Debunking the bomber-missile gaps. U-2 provided the first photographic proof that Soviet nuclear capabilities were vastly exaggerated. Imagery revealed fewer bombers and missiles than feared, dismantling the myth of Soviet superiority that drove U.S. military spending. 467. Targeting nuclear secrets. Operation Soft Touch located Soviet nuclear facilities at Tomsk, Novosibirsk. A U-2 even discovered the Turatom missile test site by tracking rail lines, reshaping a strategic planning. 6. Electronic intelligence. Beyond photography, U-2 South intercepted communications and sampled air for nuclear tests, providing unprecedented insight into Soviet R&D. 410. Deepening Cold War distrust, revolutionizing aerospace technology and trade. Power's subsequent show trial and prisoner swap became a defining Cold War narrative. 35. Its lightweight frame, ATFT wingspan, and J-57 engine enabled sustained flight at 70,000 feet. Soviet intercept capabilities. 17. This innovation enabled the plane to evolve from film cameras to radar, signals intelligence, and real-time data relay. 10. 2. Sparking diplomatic crises and reshaping superpower relations. Landing required chase guard guidance due to poor visibility. 10. The Powers incident. When Gary Powers' U-2 was shot down over it exposed as Espionage Cuban Missile Crisis. U-2 imagery confirmed Soviet missile installations in Cuba on October 14, 1962. These photos showing missile transporters and Iraq averting nuclear war. 27. Diplomatic precedent. The incident forced a shift from deniable overflights to satellite reconnaissance, leading to tacit agreements tolerating space-based spying. 35. 3. Scientific discovery and environmental monitoring. Engineering marvel. Kelly Johnson's skunkworks team created the U-2 in just 8 months, and climate metrics. Flying at 65,000 feet, they bridged the gap between satellites and ground sensors. 7. Pilot as astronaut. U-2 pilots wore pressure suits and navigated the coffin corner, a 5-knot gap between stall and structural failure. Modular design legacy. The 1980s TR-1 U-2R redesign introduced modular bays for sensors, allowing rapid table evolution of U-2 capabilities. Era key upgrades impact enduring relevance in modern warfare. 1955 to 1960 Hike-and-B camera. 70,000 feet ceiling. First Soviet over missile gap intel. Its 2025 upgrade includes AI-assisted sensor fusion and satellite networking. 10. Today they intercept communications and jam enemy networks, serving as flying data hubs for joint forces. 610 1960s-1970s J-75 engine. Elent SIGINT pods. Cuban crisis. Vietnam electronic warfare. In this new era, there is no sunset date planned. Irene Lockheed Martin U-2 program director. 10 1980s-2000s SYERS to radar, ASARS to imaging. Gulf War targeting, scientific atmospheric sampling. 2010s present open mission systems, AI integration, real-time data fusion with satellites. Drones. 710-4. But as a networked eye in the sky, proving that altitude still trumps stealth in a data-hungry world. 10. Its story is a chronicle of how one aircraft lifted the fog of war, reshaped superpower gambits, and soared beyond espionage into science and legend. NASA's ER-2 program. Modified U-2 South collected ozone data, volcanic ash samples, for example. MT disaster response. U-2 imagery mapped flood zones, oil spills, and wildfire damage, aiding FEMA and environmental agencies. 7.5. Outlasting satellites and drones. Despite plans to retire it for the Global Hawk drone, the U-2's ability to loiter for 12+ hours over targets and carry heavier payloads ensured its survival. Electronic warfare pioneer. In Vietnam, U-2 South detected SAM radar signals, table key U-2 missions and historical impact. Year mission outcome. 1956 First Soviet overflight revealed bomber gap myth, mapped military sites. 1960 Powers shoot-down collapsed Paris summit, shifted espionage to space. 1962 Cuban missile photos provided proof for Kennedy's blockade. 1967 Vietnam SIGINT tracked SAM sites, pioneered electronic warfare. 1991 Gulf War imaging located Scud launchers in real time. 2020's Ukraine South China SEOPS monitored troop movements, relayed data links. 3510 Legacy. The unreplaceable Dragon Lady. We are not going away. The U-2's genius lies in its adaptability, diplomatic catalyst. Its flights force transparency in an opaque world, accelerating arms control norms, technical blueprint, inspired the SR-71 and modern ISR drones. Cultural icons symbolize Cold War brinkmanship and human ingenuity, a testament to Kelly Johnson's maxim, be quick, be quiet, be on time. Now approaching 70 years of service, the U-2 remains aloft not as a relic,